Let us explore how meditating in an effort to blow off steam is actually hurting you. Technology, the latest technology seems to influence the metaphors we use to describe psychology and metaphysics. For instance, since the invention and popularization of the steam engine, people have often referred to managing their emotions as occasionally blowing off steam. And while it can be useful to manage a steam engine by releasing pressure, humans are not steam engines. We are very complex and very different. So the question is, what is the ideal way to work with our emotions? Is it best to be rigid and controlling with our emotions? The neuroscience suggests that the more rigid and controlling we are, the more we're going to activate our amygdala and multiply the amount of anxiety and aggression that we're experiencing, basically making things worse. The path we want to take is one of flexibility and being laid back. In other words, less like the Big Lebowski and more like the dude. Meditation is a great tool, and here's why. It relies, when done properly, meditation relies upon our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. During our inhalation, we evolve to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly whatever comes up. Whether that which comes up is external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. Every time we exhale, we are wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system that supports both physical relaxation as well as mental release to help us to make peace with the present moment in all its grotesquerie. Consider it this way. Mindfulness and meditation are not tools to indulge our controlling tendencies, where we mix and match whatever emotions we desire. Au contraire, the test, the symptom of having mastered mindfulness and meditation is that full-throatedly we live our lives with the disposition that says, whatever comes, I let it come. Whatever stays, I let it stay. Whatever goes, I let it go. So cooperating with life. Now, that could sound scary. And we could say, well, if I do that, what's to stop me from life treating me like a big old doormat? Simple. The more we practice mindfulness and meditation, the more we will find that our choices and our utterances and our deeds flow from love's centered spontaneity. This should not be confused with the scattered spontaneity we could experience perhaps after our fourth consecutive espresso. This is the centered spontaneity that flows from mindfulness and meditation. It's the sixth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. And it's the key to having a peaceful and loving life of fulfillment. This concludes our opening lesson, and now it's time for us to prepare for this evening's group meditation. It is Rey Skywalker's Sunday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi, and we shall do so after 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And now, oopsie, I think I'm on the wrong bit. Let's see here. This should be sadhana. Okay. So I'm going to over here and going all the way to the left. There will be some editing. Now, if at any point at all you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, please do not hesitate to type your specific question in great detail in the chat window. Let us begin by reviewing an explanation of the 6-syllable mantra. Together, let's chant. Om, I invoke the wish of healing Mani Jewel that serves as a metaphor of love, and the Pemi Lotus of purity serving as a metaphor of release, with whom I supplicate may love and release be mastered by all. Excuse me. Together as a team, let us explore the outer set of preliminary practices. Together, let us courageously exercise the vulnerability to notice all the stress, and that the muscle of empathy we may train. So during our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite a synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can. Whoops, one moment if you please. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 8-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. Om mani me me om mani me me om mani me me om mani me me. Let's try this again. Om mani me me 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 om mani me me. Wow, okay. Instead of torturing ourselves with a fear of karma, may we view interdependence as the opportunity for our love to lighten the loads of others. Om mani me me 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 om mani me me. Rather than torment ourselves with the dread of death, may we view how impermanence makes of clinging and absurdity with the words. Ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. Let's see here. How are things coming along on this page? Now, what would happen if I moved this here? Nope, that wouldn't work. Okay. Oh, money me me oh 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 money me me Good evening and welcome to our group meditation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let's chant. Instead of neurotically straining to make the most of each precious meditation opportunity, we could simply flow from mindfulness and meditation's generation of centered spontaneity. Oh, forgive the rhyme. How quaint. So what we're going to do is silently, and during the inhalation, we're going to silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we're going to do two things. We're going to physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 6-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. Om mani me me 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 om mani me me. Okay, one moment if you please. I get to do the old cut and paste. Wrong button. Okay, here we go. Going to hit copy. And now I'm going over here. And I'm going to hit paste. Welcome to the first quarter of this evening's mindful crease counting meditation. Let's take a moment to review Bengali crease counting. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we can advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can multiply this. If we multiply this by 8 sets. We wind up with 96 inhalations. We can count those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. We keep track of our first quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger. Upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our sympathetic nervous system helps us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. This is called mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation, to the point that what we noticed could fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and less defining. And so, my friends, it is simply the easy practice, this easy practice of mindfulness and meditation, that helps us to practice the first fold of deep familiarization with the literal impermanence that supports letting go. So together as a team, let us practice right now. Let us chant. Let us turn our attention to Zalpatral Rinpoche's final meditation manual, The Heart Treasure of the Enlightenments. The practice of view meditation in action. The discourse of virtuous in the beginning, middle, and an end. Let's chant an excerpt from the Dalai Lama's foreword. Zalpatral Rinpoche Jigme Choki Wangbo was a great bodhisattva who came to Tibet, the land of the snows, in more recent times. This great sublime and learned practitioner gave this teaching known as the instruction that is good in the beginning, middle, and end. The heart rule of the sacred practice of the view meditation and conduct for the benefit of the desiring liberation. It comprises all the essential instructions, and because of the profound meaning it contains and the beautiful language in which it is expressed, it really is like an elixir for reviving the dead. One moment, if you please. Okay, we turn our attention now to the inner set of preliminary practices. Together. In our compassion we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of heaven. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. What we can do Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. In our pragmatism, may our liberation of all beings be fueled by our reliance on the Buddhas. Example, instructions, and students described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Rather than squander all time and energy and defensiveness, how much wiser could it be to learn all mistakes, lessons that effortlessly flow from mindfulness and meditation-centered spontaneity? Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Quick edit. Together. A life squandered in vying and greed that leads not to peace and fulfillment, better to live in cooperation and generosity. Add lives and may this mind shoot out add lives and may this mind shoot out crowns of cleansing, changing, increasing, and giving my stuff to all beings of nirvana and samsara. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Please chant with me. However, for we may perceive our teacher to be, they are more present in all lives. Then the Buddhas are so from a certain point of view are like our Lama is kinder than them. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Despite of many differences our teachers, despite of many differences are in teacher's mind. Let's try this again. Despite of many differences all in teacher's mind, both share the same empty nature. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi Well, good evening, and welcome to our live stream. Please be patient while I do a quick cut and paste. Editing on the fly is pretty much my modus operandi. Well, that is weird, isn't it? Okay. Thank you again for the patience. Welcome to the second quarter of this evening's mindful crease counting meditation. To keep track of the second quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. I'm going to do a quick edit here. Please bear with me. So this is a big edit, so here we go. Instead, to keep track of our second quarter, let's rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. So, when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we cannot help but vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, our parasympathetic nervous system helps us to physically relax and mentally release to such a degree that what we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. This, of course, is a metaphor. What that means is, as we relax into our exhalation, what we noticed during our previous inhalation can feel as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although it could be tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand. So simply by playing with mindfulness, and meditation, We experience the first fold of the Eightfold Path's deep familiarization with the figurative emptiness. That supports our mental release. So together as a team, let us practice mindfulness and meditation right now. And as always, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy, meditation, or chanting, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us view letting go through a philosophical lens, as we bring the illusion of the horizontal duality of us and them into the dance of impermanence and interdependence, known as Madhyamaka's yoga of inconceivability. Please chant with me. rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief. We could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us accept the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. All visible circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Let's take all those words and allow them to coalesce into just 6 syllables that we can divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, philosophy, or meditation, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Together. All sensual bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. So we are dividing all those words into 6 syllables. I should say we're not dividing, but we are. Oh, what's the word I'm thinking of? We're allowing all those words to coalesce into just 6 syllables, which we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. All resounding interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this awareness or mind. All lucid minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. One moment, if you... Oh, I'll skip that for tomorrow. Okay, let's go over here. Now let us bring... Well, actually... Let us take a break from the sadhana and switch to this evening's shastra. Together, let us chant the first passage of Zapatul Rinpoche's last meditation manual. Namo Lokeshvaraya. If but a single drop of the nectar of your name were to fall upon my ears, they would be filled with the sound of the Dharma for countless lives. Now, on second thought, let's go over here. Wondrous angels, may the brilliance of your renown bring perfect happiness everywhere. Let us bring the experience of the four bases of mindfulness into the conventional path of love and release, where it is love that is emphasized. May all minds of all beings now be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by Yatikle one syllable zero bija mantra. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite this six-syllable synopsis. During our exhalation, we could physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this six-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May all relationships, so spatial of all beings know be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist communication symbolized by the six-syllable mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May whole bodies or forms of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health seen in Buddhist statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Yidam and archetype of enlightenment such as Chenrezig. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have their good fortune or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, fair land or Vati. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Aha. One moment. It's time for a bit of the old cut and paste. We come to the third quarter of this evening's mindful crease counting meditation. Let us, one moment. Let us rest, oh gosh, I gotta get this on camera. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. So together as a team, as we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, Whoops, wrong button. What happened there? Oh my goodness. Wow. I have no idea what I did to this whole poor thing. Whew, that was very exciting. Okay. Let's try this again. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, we are wired to notice mind's antics. As we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are wired to relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Well, what is going on here? I'm sorry, guys. I'm really having a technical difficulty right now. Okay. Let us view release through a physiological lens as we bring the experience of the four bases of mindfulness into the ultimate path of love and release, where it is release that is emphasized. As we inhale, we can notice all one's perceptions, emotions, and tensions. Cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable of what is a real or imagined bija seed suitable of light. Now, this is a bit difficult to chant, so let's see if I can remedy this. Well, that's weird. As we inhale, we can notice mind's perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a real or void as a real or imagined bija seed suitable of light. Oh, money, me, yung, oh, money, me, yung. Oh, oopsie, I think I got ahead of myself. No, I didn't. Oh, money, me, yung, oh, money, me, yung. 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 As we inhale, the interpersonal experience of communication or speech could sound quite resounding. As we inhale into personal communication, our speech could sound quite resounding. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined mantra of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, our bodies or forms could feel quite sensual. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined archetypal of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale those circumstances, our thoughts could appear quite vivid. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined paradise or fati of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Welcome to the fourth quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. To keep track of the fourth quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown of our head. Okay, this is the final meditation of this evening's session, so let's make it count by way of review. As we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired by our sympathetic nervous system to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. As we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are wired by our parasympathetic nervous system to physically relax and mentally release whatever it is we notice during our previous inhalation, whether that which we noticed was desirous or dreadful. Let's practice. You've taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 and 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the force be with you always.